Happy birthday, sir!
Good morning, open air. How may I help you? You want to speak to who, pet? Julie Walters. Yes, well, I've never heard of her myself, but apparently she will be on open air in 10 minutes' time.
And now on BBC1 we're joined by Gary Watson at 5 to 11.
Each morning this week, I'm presenting Fulfilled. Then, everyone deserted him and fled.
In 5 minutes, the main edition of Open Air reviews Channel 4's Women Behind Bars programme and talks to Julie Walters. Now the news on one with Chris Lowe.
The news at 11 o'clock. The Lithuanian president says he fears Moscow has now decided to use force against the Republic after Soviet troops occupied the headquarters of the breakaway Communist Party. Troops also raided 2 hospitals, arresting Soviet army deserters. President Landsbergis condemned the action as open aggression, and he accused the West of not taking a tough enough line with Moscow. That's it. The next news is at midday.
Good morning. Well, we've seen quite a change in the weather over Europe in the past few days. Gone the large area of high pressure, and in its place now we've got low pressure, giving some pretty nasty conditions across the Alps and into northern Italy in particular. Now, yesterday's story over there was really one of rain and more rain and some thunderstorms thrown in. For instance, at Venice, it was thundering, temperature there 8 degrees with a biting cold northeasterly wind. And further to the west over France, 12 degrees was the best on offer at Cannes, and the Mistral wind was blowing down from the north, a very unpleasant wind indeed at this time of the year, and with gusts up to 80 to 90 miles an hour, it really was pretty miserable. Now, things haven't changed too much this morning, still some snow up on the Alps, still plenty of rain around. It is gradually brightening up, though, from the west, but those temperatures pretty miserable for first thing this morning at this time of the year, just 6 degrees. Now, we can see on the satellite picture that it's not all gloom and doom. There is some nice weather about in the Mediterranean in particular, particularly at the eastern end of the Med, where it really is quite warm, temperatures around about 22 degrees this morning. Here we are then, the satellite picture showing plenty of breaks in that cloud, but still some very nasty areas around Italy and running up into southern parts of Europe. And during the next 24 hours, watch that area of low pressure around Italy, because it's going to send the rain further north up into southern parts of Germany and across Hungary, Austria and Czechoslovakia as we go through the rest of today and into tomorrow. That's the situation at the moment then. Gale force winds then blowing between Corsica and the Balearics, plenty of heavy showers coming along and still plenty of snow up on the Alps. And that rain and snow moving further north during the day and the wind picking up as well over the Alps. Now to the west, it's much brighter over Spain, generally speaking, a dry day, the best of the sunshine as you go into western parts of Spain and down through Portugal, where it will be a lovely day despite that fairly brisk wind coming through the Straits of Gibraltar. Not too bad over the western side of France and moving up into southeast Britain either. Plenty of sunshine around and some sunshine, just the odd shower across northern Germany. Then we run back into the wet and windy weather over Scotland and Northern Ireland today, and very cold over Iceland, further snow showers to come there. Now, with the bulk of Scandinavia, not too bad. There'll be some rain coming into Norway as the day goes along, but as you come to the east of the higher ground, plenty of sunshine around, and through the Baltic, really unbroken sunshine, I would think, today. Not too bad at all. And then coming southwards down through the Balkans and into, well, eastern parts of the Mediterranean in general, plenty of warm sunshine down there. Temperatures anything from 16 to 20 degrees, so well on towards the 70-degree Fahrenheit mark. Obviously very cold indeed where it stays wet and windy across the Alps and into northern Italy. Around about 14 degrees on offer in the Balearics. That's it from me.
Politics is not my vocation. I am a writer, literature is my vocation.
Mario Vargas Llosa is Peru's greatest writer, yet last April he decided to leave the solitude of the library and stand as a candidate in next month's presidential election. Tonight, Omnibus follows Llosa through the most turbulent year of his life.
What I am doing is accomplishing what you can call a public service. But to become a candidate and to become a president eventually is really a great, great sacrifice. It's practically the sacrifice of my vocation.
The story of the novelist who would be president. Omnibus, tonight at 10:35 on BBC1.
And now on One, the main edition of Open Air with Jane Irving and Gloria Hunniford.
Well, hello and a very warm welcome along to Open Air. We're very pleased you've been able to join us today. And our special guest on the programme is the actress Julie Walters. Julie the star has become Julie the mum, and she'll be talking to us later on and indeed taking your calls about her dual role. She's even on the phones at the moment.
I know, we've got her to work already. And also barrister Helena Kennedy will be talking about motherhood of a different kind, mothers behind bars, after last night's Channel 4 documentary. And also we're going to be asking the question, how would you survive without a car? Not very well, I suspect. Well, the answers and the problems were in last night's World in Action programme.
So this is the lineup on today's Open Air. At 11:10, running on empty, how to survive without a car.
At 11:20, mothers behind bars. Should children be with mothers who are serving time?
At 12, it's Query Corner. We answer your questions about television.
And at 12, educating Julie, your calls to actress and mum, and author Julie Walters.
So that's how it is between now and midday here on Open Air. And this is the number if you'd like to give us a call.
And our lines are never closed, and this is a selection of what you've been phoning us about so far this morning on the Open Line.